Today we're working on the 01 Avalon and we got to do a drive cycle. The ground wire was in the wrong place for the O2 sensors because of replacing the knock sensors. Yeah, I'll explain that in another video if you guys want me to. But so far so good. We got to do a drive cycle. This is plugged into the COM port. Readiness supported 7, readiness completed 4. We need to get the other systems up and hope that we have no check engine light coming back. So we're gonna do the drive cycle. You have to have like so many miles, so much time driving, and I'll get the details for you, but basically you just have to get it up to 45 or 50 a couple times through a couple cycles. And I don't remember if my machine automatically tells me when they're up and running, or if I have to go back and reload the prompt. So we're gonna get this through the cycles, and then we can get an emission sticker from Pennsylvania. So let's hope this works. First thing we're gonna do is check the oil here. Make sure we have enough oil in the engine. There's absolutely no oil in this engine. All right, that's the first problem here. Okay, now we gotta do our drive cycle. Here are no DTCs. I cleared the one for the fault. Readiness supported. All I did was add engine oil, right? So we're gonna hope for the best. Readiness supported 7, readiness completed already 3. So we gotta get this up to 7. I think it can actually pass with 6. So at least we have oil in the car. Let's go for a spin. I did read that sometimes if the solenoid is stuck open or closed or whatever, it's not functioning correctly, the variable valve timing solenoid, sometimes it works when the car's cold and not when it's warmed up. So far, no check engine light. So far, she's running good. I did put 2 1/4 quarts of oil in this car. Can't imagine it takes more than 5. So that's half its lifeblood, guys. You got to watch your engine oil. If you know you burn, if you know you leak, you got to keep that engine oil in there and topped off. That could make bad things happen to your engine. This is where it started doing the shakiness on my test drive this morning. So far so good, and I have 5 out of 7 readiness completed. I think I only need 6 out of 7. Hopefully we get to 7 out of 7, and I do have to go out of the system and back in to see it doesn't automatically refresh, but 5 out of 7 is better than this morning when I had 4. So let's do this, guys. Let's get this emissions tested. Let's hope this is easy. We're gonna try and chase down this problem of the car shaking and almost stalling. It hasn't yet, but it seems like that's what's happening. And if it's the same code, I already did find no oil in the car, but then it actually worked for me. Why is that not turning on? Gotta check the code. Huh, well, why is this not working? There we go. Well, turned it upside down. All right, key is in the on position. See what our codes are. Should be there any minute. 1 DTC, that's good to see. 7 supported and 6 completed. We did get a new emission sticker, so that worked. Let's see what we got. You gotta put in that it's Toyota for some reason. And then we have the variable valve timing system fault, P1354. I'm gonna take a picture of that for the thumbnail. All right, that should work. So let's chase the variable valve timing system fault. Let's check the oil first, make sure that is still full. Oil level still showing good, so we're good there. All right, onto the the VVTI solenoid, which, if I'm not mistaken, is right down there where that plugs in, right there. One 10mm screw should do it, and we'll unplug it. 10mm screw came out easy. Everyone says don't drop it down the engine, and most people do. Hopefully it finds its way to the ground if you do that. So now I couldn't tell how to get that connector off, so now we should be able to just pull this out of here. I can see how this could be dirty from the outside. You should disconnect your battery when you're doing this. It should just wiggle out, I think. I'm gonna work on this off camera. See how dirty everything is in here. 200,000 miles on the Avalon. I'm gonna wiggle this guy out, I think. As far as I know, that's the only bolt. So I'm gonna get my other hand in here and try and get this out. Should pull straight out. Well, this did pull straight out, but it doesn't look like what I'm looking for. This must be a different sensor. I mean, hopefully it is. It's dirty. So we'll clean this up and put it back in. The O-ring there. Don't want to get carb cleaner on that. We'll wipe this down. Guys, tell me what I just pulled out. I don't even know. It must be the wrong one, but I don't know. Thought that's where I was going and what I was looking for. So, like I said, we'll clean this up. Maybe I need to hunt down a different sensor. So I wiped this down, and this looks like more of like a knock sensor than anything. I don't know what it is, but it's kind of cleaner now. So anybody want to tell me what this is? Came out of that hole. It's kind of angled upward, and I guess I'll put this back in. Probably not my, this is not a solenoid. Looks like a sensor to me. So we'll put this back in, do some research, figure out where the solenoid is. That's fine. Clean up some sensors as we're at it. Maybe that fixed the problem. All right, that clean sensor is put back in, but then I dropped my little wrench down here, not the bolt. So I had to fish my wrench out from underneath the car, amongst the car. Well, even though I think I cleaned the wrong thing, the check engine light is off for the moment. So maybe that's a good sign? I don't know. Drive it and find out, I guess. Okay guys, do your research. I just made a video pulling out and cleaning a sensor that I don't even know what it is. I'm gonna put that at the end of this video for your viewing pleasure. We're going after the VVTI OCV oil control valve for the VVTI variable valve timing system. Looks like it's back here at the engine, and we're supposed to pull out this bolt to remove it, unplug it, and we're gonna clean it. Remove and hold down the bolt, pull the OCV out of the cylinder head, unplug the electrical connector, remove and hold the hold down bolt, and pull it out. So I thought it was a different spot, and it was down in there. Pulled that sensor out and cleaned it. I said it didn't look like what I was looking for. Looks like we're going for this guy, and there is a bolt in the middle, and there's a bolt at the top. So harder to see, probably easier to get out. Gonna squeeze this connector right here, this guy right here, pull that free of the unit. Like I said, sometimes it's easier to do this when you're not on camera. All right, I'm gonna use a different method, different hand, different angle. Shimmy that off. And then I think we need to, there we go. There's our connector, that's free. Now I gotta get my socket down in there, and it's right here under the cover at the back of this cylinder head. We're gonna get in there and pull this out. and see what our variable valve timing control solenoid looks like. Here's our little bolt. Make sure to not drop that in the engine. I don't know if you're ever gonna find that again, down the engine bay. And now we're gonna pull out the solenoid. Here she is. That looks more like a solenoid to me. It looks like we have a little bit of sludge, dirt that might have been scraped from coming out. She's dirty, probably slow to react. Maybe we need to replace it, but for now, we got carb cleaner. Keep it away from the rubber seal here. You should always replace that when you're doing this anyway. We're gonna clean this up with carb cleaner again. Don't hit the rubber, try to keep that away because that'll deteriorate it. But we're gonna clean this up. The best thing to do is put some power to it, and while you're cleaning it, make it actuate, make it work. But we're in a parking lot, and I don't have the leads with me. So for now, we'll just clean it up, I guess, and hope that helps. We'll chase it down. We also have filters to get to, but I'm not sure where they are. So today we're just cleaning this. So I have reason to believe, because Toyotas are so dependable, this is an OEM part. This has been with this car for almost 200,000 miles. So ideally we replace this, but it seems to be an intermittent problem and it might be sticking. So now that we're cleaning it up, like I said, we need to put power to this, make it actuate, and get the cleaner through it. Ideally, I'd take it back to the shop and clean it up with the ultrasonic cleaner. Keep this rubber piece out and just let it in there, and even put power to it while it's in there. But for now, we're just cleaning it up, spraying it. We'll see how it does. If this problem comes back in a little while, hopefully not right away, we'll know to clean this better or replace it. They're like under $100, so not a big deal. Easy to get to there in the engine. Hopefully easy to get back in. Like I said, you should always replace this when you pull these out. But unfortunately, we're in a parking lot. Let's get it right. I'm gonna read this number for me later. 13540-200100120. Okay, I'm gonna let this air dry for a few minutes and I'll pop it back in. Don't see any sticky stuff in the areas I cleaned. And it is stained from oil, obviously. But hopefully the actuator works again. So what happens is, variable valve timing, they want to give more valve, retard it, forward it. So this actually turns and allows more oil pressure to the valves to speed them up or open them or close them. And that's what this does. Pulses from the PCM. So that's what this thing just goes back and forth, or it turns. I don't know. It goes back and forth and turns the valves a little bit here and there. So we'll pop this back in and should be good to go, I hope. Also might be smart to mention, there should be another one of these. Plus, like I said, we have the filters. They're behind a plug or a bolt, and I have to find those too. It's probably just below that. Yeah, I bet it is. Looks like there's a plug or a bolt right down below there. And that probably needs taken out, cleaned, as they said in the manual, or replaced as they recommend from the dealership. So the filter's probably more important than anything. Unfortunately, I'd have to find that first. And yeah, like I said, the other solenoid's probably way harder to get to than this one. Even though some of you probably think this looks difficult, it's really not. All these hoses and stuff can push out of the way. There's the hole. All right, pop this back in. Hopefully we're good for the day. All right, well, if you can see down in there, we have our connector yet to do. There's the sensor, or the solenoid. There at the top is the torque down hold screw. And all we gotta do is plug this back in. Only fits one way. And if we have to come back in here again, we will. But as I showed you or as I will show you, I'm not sure how I'm going to put this video together since I cleaned the wrong sensor. The code didn't come back on when I started the car. So, that's good on there, good and firm. So, we should be good to go for now. If it comes back, if it does it again, it'll throw the code and we'll know what we're dealing with. So, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Go fix your Toyota. Have a great day. Get out and ride.